Hi there, good morning. Well, I hope you are well today. Another new day, another day just to trust God and to rely upon Him, to lean into God, to get your confidence strong in the Lord even in today. Well, my heading is believe more, believe more. I want to read to you a scripture from Mark chapter 9, and it's in verse 24. It says, immediately the father shouted, I do believe. Help me to believe more. Help me to believe more. While we see here a father, he brings his son to Jesus. The boy is possessed with a spirit which makes him unable to speak. In verse 22, the father says to Jesus, if you can do anything, please have pity on us and help us. If you can do anything. Well, how many times do we ask God to do something for us? And maybe we don't say it, but we think it. If you can, if you can. Well, Jeremiah chapter 32, verse 27 says, Jeremiah, I am the Lord. I am the God of every person on the earth. You know that nothing is impossible for me. What are you believing God for today? What are you believing? Do you really believe in your heart? What are you believing God? Maybe you are needing a miracle in your body, a healing miracle. Maybe you are needing a miracle in your finances. Maybe you're needing a miracle in your relationships. Maybe you're needing a miracle in your children. Maybe you are needing a miracle that you are waiting for God to move in your church. Maybe you're needing a miracle for God to move in your community, in your country today. We are all waiting on God. We are all relying on God. We're all asking God, even at this time, for a miracle in some way or other in our lives. Well, do you truly believe? That is my question. Do you truly believe? The Amplified Version speaks of the Father believing, but he needed help with his unbelief, the scripture says. Well, the Greek word is apistia. I think that's how you pronounce it. It is Apistia, and it's meaning distrust. Do you and I really trust God? When we ask God to do something for us, we ask God to move on our behalf, do we really, really trust Him to do it? Or is that niggling thought on the back of our mind saying, if He can, if He can? Well, that is not complete trust. You and I need to completely put our trust. Our absolute confidence needs to be in God when we're expecting God to move on our behalf. Well, Jesus asks the Father, why did you say if you can? Okay, does this father really know who he is talking to? Does he know who he is talking? Does he know the person who he is talking to? Do you and I today, do we know the person? Do we know God intimately? Do we know Him personally? So that when we ask Him to move on our behalf, we know that He will do it. We know He can do it. Because He is our God, He's our Father, He is all powerful. He is the God, the creator of the heavens and the earth, and this God can move on my behalf. He can move on your behalf today. While in Luke chapter 1 verse 37 it says, for with God nothing ever shall be impossible. Nothing shall be impossible. I love the Father's immediate reply. He says, I do believe. When God asks him, do you believe? He says, I do believe. Help me to believe more. Help me to believe more. Another translation reads, with a desperate, piercing cry. This father was desperate. How desperate are you and I today? How desperate are we to see God move on our behalf? I want to believe more. I want to believe more. How can I believe more? Well, for me, it would mean a total trust in God. When I ask, I have total belief in my heart, and that I know that God knows exactly what I need and what is best for me. That is my confidence. God, you know what I need and you know what is best for me. I'm resting in my Father's plan for my life even in today. This is me believing for more. And this needs to be you believing for more, believing God for more and more and more. God to move on your behalf even in today. Well, have a super blessed day. Believe God for more. Step out and believe God. Expect God to move on your behalf even today. Have a wonderful, wonderful day today. God richly bless you today in all that you do. And have a lovely day, and we'll chat again soon. God bless. Bye-bye.